The secret to success. Once a young man asked the wise man, Socrates, the secret to success. Socrates patiently listened to the man's question and told him to meet him near the river the next morning for the answer. The next morning Socrates asked the young man to walk with him towards the river. As they went in the river, the water got up to their neck. But to the young man's surprise, Socrates ducked him into the water. The young man struggled to get out of the water, but Socrates was strong and kept him there until the boy started turning blue. Socrates pulled the man's head out of the water. The young man gasps and took a deep breath of air. Socrates asked, "What did you want the most when your head was in the water?" The young man replied, "Air." Socrates said, "That is the secret to success. When you want success as badly as you wanted the air while you were in the water, then you will get it. There is no other secret."
A lesson in giving. Many years ago, when I worked as a transfusion volunteer at a hospital, I got to know a little 3-year-old girl who was suffering from a disease. The little girl needed blood from her 5-year-old brother, who had miraculously survived the same disease. The boy had developed the antibodies needed to combat the illness and was the only hope for his sister. The doctor explained the situation to the little brother, and asked if the boy would be willing to give his blood to his sister. I saw him hesitate only for a moment before he took a deep breath and said, "Yes, I will do it if it will save my sister." As the transfusion progressed, he lay in bed next to his sister and smiled, seeing the color returning to her cheeks. Then his face grew pale and his smile faded. He looked up at the nurse beside him and asked with a trembling voice, "When will I start to die?" The young boy had misunderstood the doctor and thought he had to die to save his sick sister.
A boat for all feelings. Once there was an island where all the feelings and emotions lived together. One day a big storm from the sea was about to drown the island. Every emotion on the island was scared, but love made a boat to escape. All the feelings jumped in the boat except for one feeling. Love got down to see who it was. It was ego. Love tried its best to bring ego to the boat, but ego didn't move. Everyone asked love to leave ego and come in the boat, but love was meant to love. It remained with ego. All other feelings were left alive, but love died because of ego.
Unnecessary doubts. A boy and a girl were playing together. The boy had a collection of beautiful marbles. The girl had some candies with her. The boy offered to give the girl all his marbles in exchange for all her candies. The girl agreed. The boy gave all the marbles to the girl, but secretly kept the biggest and the most beautiful marble for himself. The girl gave him all her candies as she had promised. That night, the girl slept peacefully. But the boy couldn't sleep as he kept wondering if the girl had hidden some more tasty candies from him the way he had hidden his best marble. If you don't give your 100% in a relationship, you'll always keep doubting if the other person has given his 100%.
A funny joke. Once a wise man held a seminar to teach people how to get rid of sorrows in their life. Many people gathered to hear the wise man's words. The man entered the room and told a very funny joke to the crowd. The crowd roared in laughter. After a couple of minutes he told them the same joke and only a few of them smiled. When he told the same joke for the third time, no one laughed anymore. The wise man smiled and said, "You can't laugh at the same joke over and over. So why do you cry over the same problem over and over?"
The marble statue. In the middle of a beautiful city, there was a museum laid with beautiful marble tiles and with a huge marble statue as a part of the display. Many people from all over the world visited the museum every day and admired the beautifully crafted statue. One night, the marble tiles started talking to the marble statue. "Hey statue, don't you think that it is just not fair that everybody from all over the world come all the way here to admire you while ignoring and stepping on me? My dear brother, marble tile, don't you remember we are actually from the same cave?" "Yes, I do. That is why I feel it is even more unfair. Both of us were born from the same cave and yet the world treats us so differently now. This is so unfair." "Yes, you are right, my brother. But, do you still remember the day when the sculptor tried to work on you but you resisted his tools?" "Yes, I despise that guy. How could he use those nasty tools on me?" "Well, since you resisted his tools he couldn't work on you. When he decided to give up on you, he started working on me instead. I knew at once that I would be something different and unique after his efforts. I bore all the painful tools he used on me and allowed him craft me as he wanted. But those tools were so painful. My brother, there is a price for everything in life. Since you decided to resist and gave up halfway, you can't blame anybody who steps on you now. The marble tiles silently listened to his brother's words and started to reflect on it.
How do you want to be remembered? More than a decade ago, a man was reading his morning newspaper. To his surprise and horror, he read his name in the obituary column. The newspapers had mistakenly reported the death of the wrong person for sure. He was shocked to read news headline about his death. When he regained his composure, he read it to find out what people had said about him. The obituary included sentences like, "Dynamite King dies," and "He was the merchant of death." The man was the inventor of dynamite, and when he read the words, "merchant of death," he asked himself a question. Is this how I am going to be remembered? He asked himself. He decided that this was not the way he wanted to be remembered, and he decided to change. From that day on, he started working toward world peace. His name was Alfred Nobel, and he is remembered today by the Great Nobel Prize, the greatest of all the prizes.
Egg, carrot and coffee beans. A young woman struggling with life went to her mother and told her how her life was miserable and hard for her. She was tired of fighting and struggling with her problems and wanted to give up. Her mother, without saying much, took the young lady to the kitchen. She filled 3 pots with water. In the first pot, she placed carrots, in the second one she placed eggs, and the last she placed some ground coffee beans. She let them sit and boil without saying a word to her daughter. After some time, the mother turned down the burner, fished the carrots and the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. Then she ladled the coffee out into a cup. Turning to her daughter, she asked, "Dear, tell me, what do you see?" "A carrot, egg and coffee," she replied. "Look closer and feel the carrots," said the mother. The daughter noted that they were soft. The mother then asked her to take an egg and break it. The interior of the egg was hard-boiled. Finally, she asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. The daughter then asked, "What does this mean, mother?" All the 3 items, carrot, egg, and coffee, went through the same situation, the boiling water. However, each reacted differently. The carrot was strong, hard, and unrelenting. However, after being subjected to the boiling water, it softened and became weak. The egg was fragile with the thin outer shell and its liquid interior. But after being in the boiling water, it hardened its interior. The ground coffee beans were unique. As it came to the boiling water, it changed the water and gave its incredible aroma. "What are you?" she asked the daughter. "How do you respond in difficult situations? Are you a carrot, an egg, or a coffee bean?"
The bamboo tree. A man got frustrated with life. Despite all the hard work and effort, failure was all that he learned. Feeling defeated with life, he left everything and exiled himself in the woods. There he met a hermit. The disappointed man shared his failure with the hermit. "Give me one good reason not to quit," he pleaded the hermit. "Look," the hermit said, pointing towards 2 plants. "Do you see that fern and bamboo there?" "Yes," the man nodded. "When I planted the fern and the bamboo seeds, I took very good care of them. I gave them water, light and fertilizer. Within a short period of time the fern quickly grew from the earth," the hermit continued. "But despite the bamboo seed being watered and nurtured for years, it did not grow as much as an inch. In fact, nothing at all happened in the first year. But I did not give up on the bamboo seed and continued to water and nurture it. By the 5th year, a tiny sprout emerged from the earth. And within 6 months, the tree grew 100 feet tall. The little tree was growing underground, developing a strong root system. Had the tree not developed a strong foundation, it would not have sustained its life as it grew. Did you know that all the time you had been struggling, you were growing strong roots?" remarked the hermit. The man learned his lesson that day. He learnt the value of persistence and hard work. The fern and the bamboo stood right in front of him as he walked towards his life to continue to work on his dreams.
Butterfly in its cocoon. One beautiful afternoon, a young man was taking a stroll around his garden when he noticed a cocoon of a butterfly on a leaf. Thrilled to see an amazing transformation of nature, he sat and watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through a little hole of its cocoon. After a while, the butterfly seemed to stop making any progress. It was struggling so hard to get out. It looked like it couldn't break free. It looked desperate. It appeared as if it had gotten as far as it could, and it could go no further. The kind-hearted man decided to help the butterfly. He got a pair of scissors and tweaked the cocoon to make a larger opening for the butterfly. The butterfly emerged easily without any struggle. But unlike any other butterflies in his garden, it had a swollen body with small and withered wings. The man was happy that he made the butterfly come out of its cocoon without much struggle. He continued to watch the butterfly, expecting that, at any moment, the wings would dry out, enlarge and expand to support the swollen body, which would contract in time. Unfortunately, neither its wings expanded nor the swollen body reduced. The butterfly crawled around with shriveled wings and swollen body, never able to fly all through its life. Although with the good intention, the man hindered the growth of the butterfly. The continuous effort from the butterfly to come out of its cocoon would force out the fluid stored in the body to convert it into the wings. What the man, in haste to help the butterfly, did not understand was that the restricting cocoon and the struggle were the key to the butterfly's beautiful body and wings. Sometimes struggles and challenges are exactly what we need to grow in our lives. Like, the struggle to get out of the cocoon gives butterfly its beautiful wings, struggles in our life makes us stronger and gives us wings to fly.